Hello, my name is Elliot Amaraz, and today I'm going to show you how to make fabric yarn from an old t-shirt. According to the Council for Textile Recycling, there was an estimated 1.3 million tons of textiles and clothing that were recovered for recycling in 2009. It is very important that we play our part in being green to protect the earth and its resources. There are many ways that you can recycle your clothing. You can donate them to be worn by others, or you can donate them to be made into other products such as polishing cloths or even paper. You can also cut your old clothes up to make newly designed clothing, or you can use it to make yarn. Many of my wife's friends knit and make a number of products out of yarn. Today I'm going to show you how to turn an old t-shirt into fabric yarn. First, you will need an old t-shirt, one with no seams on the sides, and you will also need a good pair of fabric scissors. The first thing you want to do is take your t-shirt and lay it flat on the table. There are two initial cuts you want to make. You want to make one at the very bottom right above the hem, all the way across. And then another one right across the chest, right underneath the arms. You can discard the top half for making the yarn. You will not need that. The next thing you want to do is take the tube that you just cut from the t-shirt and fold it in half, leaving from the bottom up, leaving about a 1-inch gap at the top. The next step you want to do is cut vertical strips from the bottom up, stopping right at the 1-inch gap. The strips you want to leave, you want to make approximately ½ an inch wide. This prevents tearing and breaking of the shirt as you roll it to make the yarn. As you can see here, I stopped right there. You want to make sure you keep the strips separated as you're cutting so you don't cut through one of the strips you already made. This would prevent you from having one long piece of yarn. Some of the things you can make with yarn are hats, scarves, gloves. There are ton of things you can make knitting with yarn. Now, due to time constraints, I'm going to cut these remaining strips a little bit wider just so I can show you how to cut the rest to make one long piece of yarn. Now remember, the thinner the strips are, the longer the length will be of the yarn, but you want to stay in around the 1/2 inch mark so it won't be too thin and won't break. Alright, now that we got all our strips made, you'll want to shake them out, and you are next going to cut across this 1-inch gap that you left at the top. Now we'll lay this flat so we can cut it, and I'll show you a diagram of where you're going to make the cuts. Here is the diagram. The strips, you will start and cut diagonally from the beginning of the tube shirt across to each of the strips. This will leave one long piece of yarn. Shake the rest out. Sometimes it helps to put your arm through so you can lay it out flat. So make the first cut from the top over to the corner of the first strip. Sorry, and then to the next strip. Okay, and you want to be careful when you're cutting the diagonal strips so you don't cut one of the strips you made previously, which would then leave not one long piece, but more than one piece. This was the old hem. So as you can see, we now have one long piece of fabric. A men's large shirt should yield approximately 39 yards of fabric. That's saving a lot of yarn. Now the last step you want to do for each shirt that you use is you want to roll, you want to stretch the strip to roll it to make it usable for knitting. You just go along the whole length of it, rolling it by stretching. And then once you go through the whole thing, you can roll it up as a ball of yarn and use it for knitting. Today I showed you how to turn an old t-shirt into fabric yarn and protect our environment. If you know anyone that knits, then please spread the word. We can help save our earth one t-shirt at a time. Thank you.